Hello, happy Monday. Today you will begin your research on your famous Hoosier, which you chose on Friday, May 5th. You made your final selection for the famous Hoosier you will research and pretend to be. As this famous Hoosier, you will write a story of your life as the famous Hoosier. You'll create a board with you as the famous Hoosier, and you'll dress up as your famous Hoosier. And your adults will come, and you'll be able to tell them about your life as a famous Hoosier. Okay, so all of last week, we looked at different artists, scientists, entrepreneurs, athletes, a lot of different famous Hoosiers that will appear on the test. And if you look here at the bottom of this slide, there are other options for famous Hoosiers that we didn't actually talk about. Again, that was also on Friday's last slide where you got to tell me what famous Hoosier you would like to pretend to be. Okay, you're bringing this famous Hoosier back to life. I've said famous Hoosier at least 20 times already. Okay, moving on. At the end of this week, you will have an essay draft due, which means you will be turning in an essay that is not complete just yet because I will give you advice on it to help you get a better grade on it. I'll let you know what you're missing. So this is a rough draft. It is not your final essay you are going to be turning in on Friday. Okay, so whatever you complete by Friday, I will be able to give it a grade. It will be graded. Okay, but it won't be the final grade. The final grade is equivalent to a test. Okay, so it's going to be valued much more than what you're turning in this Friday. This Friday is something small. Your essay grade will be much bigger deal. Okay, and that will be due next week. Anyway, there's that timeline of how we're doing things. It is something I did last year, and a lot of my students just did an incredible job. So you will come to life as a famous Indiana resident, past or present, who has made a difference in our state. They can be famous in any one of those areas that are there. Here's how you'll organize your information and what you need to research about them. So each section here is what you'll be completing on the essay. Here's different resources you can use. And here's where you start talking about you and your family. Remember, you're not yourself, okay? If I started this, I wouldn't be writing about my life as Miss Melman. I would write my life as maybe Madam C.J. Walker or Larry Bird, right? That would be the life I would be talking about here. First thing you got to do is come up with a hook, okay? How are you going to get people interested in knowing who you are as a famous Hoosier? Okay, for me, if I was a famous Hoosier, a good, interesting fact for me was, let's see, something to get you interested. I did not go to public school. I actually educated myself. My mom was a teacher. She wasn't a teacher, but she helped me with my work. But mostly, I would do all the work on my own, give it to her, and be done for the day. I had to read the instructions. I had to figure out how to solve problems on my own. And if I couldn't get it on my own, that's when I would seek help. But a lot of the work I did was on my own. So I'm self-educated. So that can get someone interested in me like, oh, how's her life like now? Since she was self-educated, she didn't have a normal education, right? So what could you say about your famous Hoosier to get people interested? Okay, that is a hook. You see those things on the list. There's other things you'll find out as you research your individual. So you might not do these slides in order. As you read about them, you might find out something here, or you might find out something on the next slide. Okay, but each of these sections will be one paragraph. Okay, this first slide 7 is paragraph 1. Here's paragraph 2, and then you have 2 slides here that relate to paragraph 3. Okay, and there's our paragraph 4. 4 paragraphs. You can do it. Okay, we're not doing this all in one day. You will have multiple days to complete this. Okay, and as you're collecting information, this is where you would put those online resources. Okay, copy and paste your website so you don't lose it. You might want to go back and double check your information because there are going to be sources that tell you one thing, but then another source will tell you something else. So you need to make sure you're getting reliable sources that have done their research. Okay, and I'll have papers that you can write things on as well if typing just takes a lot out of you. But we'll have that. If you do this at home, I'll have extra credit papers you can get your adults to sign that will count as extra credit for this project. Okay. But this is what you're starting today without me, and I can't wait to see what you get. Great job.